California, the nation's most populous and economically powerful state, has long been heralded as a beacon of innovation and opportunity. Yet under the leadership of Governor Gavin Newsom, critics from across the political spectrum, especially conservatives and centrists, have raised urgent concerns about the direction of the Golden State. From mass departures of residents and businesses to deepening social crises and infrastructure decay, detractors argue that the governor's policies and priorities have failed to deliver meaningful results. Here are 10 major reasons critics say the governor isn't doing his job. First, and perhaps most dramatically, is the mass exodus of residents. In just a few years, over 800,000 people have packed up and left California. The reasons cited again and again are high taxes, escalating crime, and the crushing cost of living. For many, the dream of owning a home in California is now out of reach, with the median price in 24 soaring past $830,000, more than double the national average. Middle-class families, retirees, and even young professionals are finding new homes in states like Texas, Florida, and Arizona, where the cost of living is lower, taxes are lighter, and jobs are plentiful. It's not just people leaving. Companies are going too, taking thousands of jobs and billions in revenue with them. Second, California's infrastructure is showing its age and neglect. Roads and highways, once the envy of the nation, now rank among the worst in America. Potholes, traffic jams, and crumbling bridges have become daily headaches for millions. The state's power grid is notoriously unreliable, with rolling blackouts disrupting lives and businesses, sometimes during the hottest days of the year. Water infrastructure, including dams and aqueducts that support the state's vast agricultural industry and urban centers, is decades behind on crucial upgrades. Despite record spending, these essential systems remain vulnerable, leaving Californians to wonder why progress is so slow. A third, highly visible crisis is homelessness. Nowhere is this problem more acute than in California, which is home to over 181,000 homeless individuals, more than any other state in the country. Billions of dollars have been poured into combating homelessness. But critics say the Housing First model, championed by state policymakers, has failed to address root causes like mental health and substance abuse. In cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, encampments line sidewalks, parks, and freeway underpasses. Public spaces are increasingly off-limits to families and businesses, and the sense of disorder feeds a broader perception that the state's social fabric is fraying. The fourth area of concern is rising crime and lawlessness. Major cities such as San Francisco, Oakland, and Los Angeles have seen spikes in retail theft, sometimes in the form of coordinated smash-and-grab robberies. Open-air drug markets operate with apparent impunity, and so-called zero-bail policies have resulted in repeat offenders being released, often within hours of arrest. Some counties have even decided to stop prosecuting property crimes under $950, which critics say has emboldened criminals and left residents feeling unsafe. For many, the basic promise of public safety seems increasingly out of reach. Education, the fifth major issue, is another sore spot. Despite spending over $20,000 per student in 2024, among the highest in the nation, California's public school system is ranked in the bottom third. In some districts, fewer than half of 8th graders are literate. Chronic absenteeism, teacher shortages, and pandemic-era learning loss have all taken their toll. Parents and educators alike question where all the money is going and why results continue to lag so far behind. Sixth, the high cost of living and housing remains a persistent, worsening problem. California leads the nation in gas prices and electricity rates, adding to the financial strain of residents already struggling with sky-high rents and home prices. For many, even basic necessities like groceries and utilities are more expensive than almost anywhere else in the country. The middle class, once the backbone of California's economy, is being squeezed out, forced to relocate to more affordable states or fall into poverty. Seventh, critics point to California's increasingly hostile business environment. High corporate taxes, endless red tape, and strict environmental regulations are frequently cited as reasons for the steady exodus of companies. Major employers like Tesla, Oracle, and Hewlett-Packard have all moved their corporate headquarters out of state, taking high-paying jobs and valuable tax revenue with them. For entrepreneurs and small business owners, the obstacles to success can feel insurmountable, leading some to call California open for business somewhere else. The eighth area of concern is disaster mismanagement, particularly when it comes to wildfires. Each year, devastating fires sweep through rural communities, fueled by overgrown forests and parched landscapes. Critics say the state has failed to implement adequate forest thinning and brush clearing programs, leaving millions of acres vulnerable. Emergency response efforts have been plagued by poor coordination, and planned power shutoffs meant to reduce fire risk have instead left millions without electricity, sometimes for days at a time. The result is a sense of frustration and helplessness among those most at risk. Ninth, the governor's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic drew widespread criticism for its severity and duration. California imposed some of the strictest and longest lockdowns in the country, shuttering schools, businesses, and places of worship for months on end. Mandatory vaccine policies, church closures, and sweeping restrictions sparked lawsuits and mass protests. Many residents, especially small business owners, felt unfairly targeted, and the state's uneven approach to enforcement deepened divisions within communities. Finally, critics accused the governor of prioritizing partisan politics and national ambitions over the practical needs of Californians. Some allege cronyism, such as awarding no-bid contracts to political donors, further eroding public trust. Detractors argue that instead of focusing on solving the state's most urgent problems, the governor is more concerned with raising his national profile and preparing for a potential run for the White House. This perception of self-interest has only deepened the frustration felt by many residents. Despite these criticisms, supporters of the governor point to significant accomplishments. They highlight progress on climate change, increases in the minimum wage, and bold moves on social justice issues. California's economy remains the fifth largest in the world, a testament to its enduring strength and resilience. Yet for many, these achievements ring hollow in the face of rising taxes, declining services, and a falling quality of life.
The debate over California's future is far from settled. As residents and policymakers grapple with these complex challenges, the stakes could hardly be higher for California and for the nation as a whole. For now, the critics' voices are loud, and the questions they raise remain at the center of the state's political conversation.